I, 'tis I, on my regal steed. Sorry, I watched Shrek recently. Hi Leah, welcome! Good to see you again, virtually. How's everybody today? How we doing? Sorry for the late start. I was on dog duty this morning. I was dealing with some dogs. But I'm here now. So, as usual, for those of you that haven't been to these before or don't know what these are, welcome to Spiritual Study Hall. So, how this works is the first hour or so is open office chatting, open office hours, just hanging out, chatting about life, chatting about stuff, and you guys can send your questions in the chat if you have anything you want to ask me. So I'm here for that. Also just chatting if anybody wants to bring up any topics about anything, spiritual or non-spiritual. But yeah, so open to questions. Send your questions in the chat if you have any. And just catching up and chatting. And then after that, we take a short break. And then we have open study hall where I'll be working. You guys can work on stuff. Work on anything you want to work on. Schoolwork. If you work from home for your job, or if you're crafting something. Last week somebody was packing a suitcase and listening to the stream. So there are no rules. Just turn the stream on and vibe with us. Be productive in some kind of way, or just hang out. Just enjoy the community. So yeah, welcome in everybody. Oh, the sun helps. Yeah, it's really gloomy here in Los Angeles. It's really weird. You know, I feel like most people have seen all the stuff that's going on with California and the weather. And luckily where I am, we don't have any flooding or anything. So we're not having any emergencies. But it is weird because it's not normal for Los Angeles to be this rainy. Very weird. Very, very weird. But I'm enjoying it. I love the rainy vibe. I'm definitely a rain kind of gal. So. Oh, thank you, Leah. Thank you for all your support. You've been supporting me for a really long time in my channel, so I'm sending all of that gratitude all the way back to you, for sure. So thank you. You got a foot of snow yesterday, Katie? Oh my god. I'm glad you got your power back. Yeah, blizzards can be fun, but also kind of alarming, especially when you lose power. Yeah, my hometown is in upstate New York, and they just got a bunch of snow also. Romania, welcome in, welcome in. Spring has started in full force. Yeah, we're having a really wet spring here in Los Angeles, which is weird for us. But it's cool seeing, like, everything outside is so green. I'm used to it being the desert, and everything is so lush. It's really amazing. I was at this, there's a park not too far from my house that I used to run at all the time. And the trail, there's like a dirt trail behind the park that goes into the mountains. And I just saw it for the first time after months of not seeing it. Just saw it yesterday. And it looks unrecognizable. Like, normally it's just dirt and nothing, and now it's dirt surrounded by tall grass and bushes and flowers. It's really gorgeous. It's amazing. It's crazy. But yeah, everybody, I'm happy to see more and more people here every week. It's really fun connecting with you guys and chatting with you guys. Remember, you can send your questions in the chat, or if you have a topic you want to bring up, or even if you just want to share how you're doing in the chat. This is our community. We're here to support each other, so anything you want to share in the chat is all good with us. But yeah, what's going on with me? On Monday, right? Yeah. Monday evening, I held my first ecstatic dance here in Los Angeles. It was in Pasadena, calling it Dance of the Dandelion. And it was so good. It was just a small group because it was my first one, but it was small but mighty. And it was a really good first one. It was me and 3 dancers that joined. And we just had a great ceremony and ecstatic dance for about an hour and a half. And it was really cool. It was really exciting. Really cool to be doing something that I've been wanting to do for a while. So really cool to get to start that, finally. And the next one is going to be at the same location in Pasadena, California. It is on Friday the 24th. So that's next Friday. So anybody who's in the Southern California area, if you want to come out and join the ecstatic dance, it's so much fun. Next Friday, speaking of rain, next Friday the theme for the ecstatic dance is going to be cleansing rain. So that's going to be the topic that we're focusing on. All the music is going to be centered around rain and cleansing. So that's what's going on for me. Oh, I just love lo-fi. Soothing. What else is going on? I gotta start making like a note when I start of things I want to say. Oh, some kooky things that happen on the day of the ecstatic dance. I had a lot of signs from spirit signs from my guides that they were present, and it was really amazing. Like the morning of the dance, I was walking one of my sister's dogs, Venus, and a coyote straight up approached us. And we see coyotes a lot in my neighborhood. I actually just saw one this morning right outside my front door. I opened the door to put a box out there on the porch, and he was right there. I was like, oh, hello. But yeah, so I saw a coyote in the morning, and like in a way that I've never seen, because most of the time the coyotes don't want to be near people. You know, the coyotes in my neighborhood are pretty socialized to people and dogs, so they tend to keep their distance and be pretty respectful. But this coyote was like approaching us. I actually had to use the emergency animal deterrent spray that my sister always uses whenever one of us walks one of the dogs. And I don't spray it at the animal, I spray it at the ground so the animal doesn't approach. But I actually had to use it because the coyote was just like, he was just gonna walk right up to us. He was like, hey, Hecate said that I should tell you, but it was funny. And then later in the day, my oldest cat, Glenn, who's kind of I always say she's my live-in snow leopard, my domestic snow leopard, because she looks like a snow leopard. But she wanted to cuddle me, which is really rare, so that felt like a little boost of power and support. Do you have any plans for Ostara? No specific plans right now. I always do a nice big spring cleaning energetically and physically for Ostara. So I usually will clean the whole house, and then I'll also cleanse the whole house. So definitely that. Yeah, and I don't think the ecstatic dance I'm holding on the 24th is definitely, for me, part of my Ostara celebration, so I would include that in my plans for Ostara. But yeah, other than that, no specific plans just yet. I'll definitely do a little ritual and ceremony at my altar like I always do for every Sabbath. But I haven't made any specific plans for that just yet. But it always involves... I always go out into the neighborhood and grab any flowers that have fallen off of plants. And I decorate my altar beautifully with those. And yeah, I gave everybody at the ecstatic dance on Monday a flower to take with them when they left the dance to remind them of the intentions they set for the dance as they go out into the world. And I had some flowers left over from that, so I'll probably decorate with those also. But yeah, those are all the plans I have so far. When will you share your baking video? Ooh, very soon. I had a whole annoying problem where, I was working on that vlog from my trip to Costa Rica, the ecstatic dance retreat that I went to. And I got super delayed with that. I wanted to post it last Friday, and I ended up not being able to because a bunch of the files from my camera that I was vlogging on were corrupt. They were like compressed in a weird way, and so my computer couldn't read them, and I had to convert them all to a different format so I could use them. So that took up like a whole day and really delayed me. So I'm gonna be finishing that today once we start working here on the stream. So I'm gonna be finishing that vlog today, uploading it later today for my channel members, and then it'll be up for the public tomorrow. And then once I'm done with that, I'm gonna be focusing all my energy on the baking video. So the baking video will, and those take a while to edit because I do a lot of silly things to make it more fun and just enjoyable. So that'll probably, next baking video will probably go up, what's today, Wednesday? It'll probably go up Monday or Tuesday. So that's the vibe. That's the tea. I fell off drinking water for a while. I'm trying to get back into it. Oh, gotta put my socks on, my feet are cold. When it rains, I have that like Los Angeles thing where when it rains, I forget that it's raining and then I make silly choices. Like, I'll forget to bring a raincoat, or I'll wear shoes that aren't good for rain. And like earlier, I took something out to the recycling bin and I didn't think about the fact that it was raining, and so I wore my socks. And so I just got my socks completely soaking wet. I was like, why did I do that? Why did I do that? There's nothing more upsetting than a wet sock. Just a little autism rant. Oh. Okay. I was like rushing so intensely to get here that I feel like I haven't really fully arrived. You know what I mean? Just hitting the mic. And remember, guys, to like this stream as you come in, give it a little thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, hit the subscribe button. Do it. Do it. Remember, guys, if anybody has any questions, I'm here to answer them. Any questions at all. Good morning, Janine. Welcome back. Yeah, I don't have a tea right now. I do not have a tea right now. I was gonna get a tea when we take a break before we start working. I'm gonna go get a tea. But yeah, right now I'm just drinking some water. I drank some tea this morning with my breakfast, and so now I'm just drinking some plain water. And then when we take a break, I'm gonna go probably make myself Irish breakfast. Yee yee yee. Oh, reminder, next Tuesday is when we're starting our evening stream. So next week we'll have 2 streams, Tuesday night and Wednesday at this time, 10 a.m. Pacific. So next Tuesday we're gonna be in the evening. We're gonna be playing, well, evening Pacific time. We're gonna be playing Hogwarts Legacy. That'll be fun. Please share something on advanced shamanic journeying. Okay, yeah, so, I mean, advanced shamanic journeying is a very, simple and straightforward concept, but it definitely can get more advanced as you progress through the types of journeys and as you get more comfortable with journeying. And Yeah, I'm not going to share much specifically about advanced shamanic journeying because I feel like that's something that you should really do. You should study and experience with the guidance of a shaman. And I teach shamanic journeying through Dandelion Spiritual Academy, so you can check out my website for that. I do shamanic study sessions. And so when you first, shamanic journeying is basically just the practice of journeying to the lower world, the middle world, and the upper world. So, Court saying, hi, isn't journeying similar to pathworking? I'm not familiar with pathworking, so I'm not sure about that. I've never heard that before. Feel free to share more about what pathworking is in the chat. But yeah, so journeying is going energetically to the lower world, the upper world, and the middle world. When you first start out with journeying, you journey to the lower world. That's the safest realm that there is to journey to in terms of shamanic work. There's nothing there that will harm you. There's only your spirit guides. So it's just full of your guides, and it's a realm that strongly represents you on a soul level. So everybody's lower world is different. Every single lower world that I've had a student describe to me is completely unique to them. So, and then the upper world is where you go to next. Once you're very well versed in the lower world, you start to journey to the upper world. Upper world is just like the lower world in that it's completely safe. You're never in any kind of energetic harm. You don't have to worry too much about protecting yourself or guarding your energies, because just like the lower world, the upper world is filled with your guides. But the difference between the lower world and the upper world is that the upper world is more so filled with deities, angels, ancestors, past selves, your higher self, those types of beings. Versus the lower world is all spirit guides who come to us in the form of animals. And then the middle world, which is the most complicated, most complex world to journey to within shamanic work, that's the one that you go to last when you're very well versed in both the lower and upper worlds, and you've got your practice with both of those worlds going and consistently happening. Then you can start to explore the middle world. That middle world is our physical reality here on Earth, but the energetic layer that we can't see with our naked eye. If you're somebody like me who works a lot with energies, you probably see it a little bit when you tap into that. But when you're in the middle world, all of that is very clear. That's all you see. So if I were to journey to the middle world, sitting right here in this chair, I would have my eyes closed, I'd be playing my drum, and then I would drop down, journey to the middle world, and I would see this room that I'm in. And from this room, I could travel to different places on the earth, and I would be seeing the the layer of energy that is in this world. So that's why it can be complicated, the middle world, because it doesn't have that safety that you have when you go to the lower or upper world. The middle world is filled with shadow and light, chaos and order, just like Earth. So that's why the middle world is a little bit complicated. But again, I teach about shamanic work through my academy. So if you want to get more information about that, you can reach out to me through my website, or you can book your first session and we can talk about all of it. You can book right from my website. So if that interests you, check that out. Okay, what question's next? Do you have certain deities that you recommend work well together for learning magic and developing abilities? Ooh, so do you mean like deities? I'm assuming you mean deities that work well with each other and you. For that, I would say, for learning magic and developing your abilities, I would say think about deities that are very magically powerful. So Hecate is definitely one of them. She's very powerful. She's got a lot of magical power. And she works really well, in my experience, with Lilith. They're like a very strong, to me, they feel like sisters. That's how they feel to me. Now, I'm not saying that's not fact. That's a fact. That's just how they feel to me. And then definitely Isis. Definitely Isis. She's the biggest one that comes to mind for me, just because I'm very familiar with the ancient Egyptian pantheon of gods. So I would definitely say Isis. She's a very strong magician, magical practitioner. So she's a big one to help develop your magical skills, and developing your abilities spiritually. Who else? Yeah, just look up whatever pantheons you're really interested in. Research what deities within that pantheon are related to. That can be really good. Look up, like, you know, which deities have the same parents and things like that. And you can also look up, of course, which deities have strong magical powers. You have a book that you would recommend to start? Yeah, as always, for Wicca in general, I would say a good book to start is always Wicca and Living Wicca by Scott Cunningham, and he talks about magic in those books also. So he talks about the basics of magic and how it works, and all of that. So that's always a really good starting point. And then in terms of magic and specifically witchcraft aside from Wicca, I don't really have off the top of my head like one book that I would recommend for beginners. I find a lot of the time with witchcraft books and magic books that sometimes they're just lacking in certain things, and a lot of the time the author's bias really comes through. But yeah, so I don't have a specific book for specifically witchcraft, but Scott Cunningham in Wicca and Living Wicca, he does talk about magic briefly in both those books. Yeah, Freya, Isis, Hecate, yeah, those are all really great ones. Yeah, you're on the right track for sure. Trust your instincts. How do you make a sacrifice and a spell like an offering? So, if you're making an offering, specifically for an offering, all you really need to do is offer it. And then you can embellish it as much as you want from there, depending on how your practice works, what your practice is like for you. So for me, when I give an offering, I will usually prepare the area I'm going to leave the offering, whether that's on my altar or out in nature. I'll prepare the offering, or I give offering to Hecate through feeding the crows and my neighborhood birds. So I have a specific offering plate that I only use to feed the crows. So in that instance, I take that offering plate, I clean it physically and energetically. So that's the first thing you want to do. Wherever you're leaving your offering, clean it physically and energetically. And then you want to, I usually will give some Reiki to the spot that I'm leaving the offering. So if you're a Reiki practitioner, you can do that. You can draw the Reiki #1 symbol, which is a power symbol. So I usually do that. Or you can give the spot a little blessing. This is a Kemetic technique where you take water, especially if you have like moon water, rain water, any kind of special water like that, river water, ocean water. You can dip your fingers in it and flick it over the spot, over the space. You do it 3 times. So you do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then the spot is cleansed and blessed, kind of made more sacred. And then you can lay the offering down. Some people, and you've seen me do this on my channel if you've watched the Depnon vlog that I did, but some people will do a circle of salt or a circle of eggshells. I do eggshells partially because I have cats, and if they lick the salt, that would be bad. And also in nature, salt can be damaging to animals or plant life. So I tend to think that eggshells are a good go-to because nothing's going to be harmed by an eggshell. So then I would lay the circle of eggshells and then put the offering inside that. You don't have to do the circle. If that doesn't resonate with you, you can just place the offering down after cleansing and blessing the space. And then once you've placed the offering there, you can invite whatever energy being you're giving that offering to come take the offering. So this looks really different depending on who you are. So you can say something out loud. Like for when I feed the crows, for example, I do all the steps. I put all the nuts and seeds that I'm going to be giving to the neighborhood birds on the offering plate. I take it outside. I place it where I always put it. And I will usually out loud say, Hecate, I call on you to bring your birds, bring your crows to this spot to consume this offering and eat this food for the greatest and highest good. This is for you. Have it. Take it. Do with it what you will. And usually pretty immediately, the crows start to show up. The parrots start to show up. The squirrels start to show up. So, yeah, you can just out loud say, this is for you. Please accept it. Or you can say it in your mind. And there are also in books written out little things that you can say. Some books about specific deities will have a prayer you can say when you give offering or things like that. But I always like to make it unique and make it my own. So yeah, that's kind of the basics of how to give an offering. And if you're giving offering at your altar and not in nature, and so you're going to have to remove it from your altar at some point, you can, after you're done giving that offering, you can either consume the offering if it's something that is edible, like if you gave a deity a glass of wine, a goblet of wine, or a goblet of beer, or a goblet of juice, or a plate of food. If you gave an offering like that and you have it on your altar, you can leave it overnight. And then you can, in the morning, you can eat it yourself, or you can put it in nature and return it to the earth. And if it's something that's not edible, you can still return it to nature as long as it's something safe for nature and for the animals and for the plants. Just dispose of it that way by putting it outside. Okay, what's next? Do you think that beginners can work with deities? Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I think there are some deities that are a little bit more complex, like we've talked about a lot on my channel. Some deities are really demanding. Some deities have a lot that they want from you, and they want you to be consistent and have a routine and not miss certain things that have to be on certain days, like Hecate. And then other deities like Lilith are just really harsh. They come in like, and they will show you your shadow, and they will be like, this is the truth, girl. And you're like, so for that reason, some deities can be a little bit more advanced, but absolutely beginners can work with deities. Because also, we've talked about this a little bit, but I'm thinking about making a whole video about this. But working with deities looks like a lot of different things. There are deities that you can work with that are simply worship. Like you can just worship a deity and not necessarily work with them. But you're still working with them, but you're not like actively doing things with them or for them. You simply, like, worshiping a deity would look like having an altar to them, taking care of that altar, maybe prayer, including them in the morning or in the evening or both. And then there's working with the deity, which is a little bit more involved, and that's like, like with Hecate, I do Depnon every single new moon. When I do artistic work, I invite her to be present. So yeah, there's a lot of different ways to work with deities. But yeah, anybody can start working with the deity no matter how advanced their skill level is. I had a demonic experience. Is it okay to share here? I need suggestions on it. Feel free to share it. Feel free to share the demonic experience you had. And if I feel like we need to chat individually, we can do that. But feel free to share a little bit of what happened for you, and I'll see if we can chat about it here. And if not, we'll chat individually. Do you have a book you recommend on comedic practices? Yeah, I definitely think Freya and Hecate and Isis would all get along. Yeah, so I have a video on my channel that's all books on ancient Egypt, and those are the books that I would recommend. So I don't remember the names of them off the top of my head, but they're on my channel in that video, books on ancient Egypt. So yeah, those are all the books I would recommend. But yeah, I'm a big fan of mixing the pantheons, because a lot of them are connected in a lot of ways, especially, you know, like Greek and Egyptian pantheons are historically connected, so those are really fun to mix. But yeah, go for it. Do you have a routine or schedule for when you give offerings, or do you just do it when the mood takes you? Yeah, both. I would say both. Like I said, you know, I have things I do every dark moon / new moon. I have things I do every full moon. And then I also have things I do on a specific day every month of the waning moon. It's the 21st day of the moon's cycle. I always do something on that day because that's the day I was born. That's the phase the moon was in when I was born. Ooh, I like this lo-fi song. Anyway, brief interlude. But yeah, so both. I'll like, if I have an experience randomly one day that feels very spiritually charged, or a guide comes through and shows me some support or sends me a message I've been waiting for, then I will, in the spur of the moment, be like, ooh, I want to give offering because that felt really nice and I really appreciated that. So I'm just going to give an extra little bit of offering. And then I also have the things I do all the time at the same time every month. So I do both. I really encourage both for sure. Like, let it be free-flowing, and also, you know, figure out what works for you. Maybe you're not like a schedules and routine kind of person, and so that won't really work for you, and you're more of a free-flowing, go with how you're feeling in the moment kind of person. Neither one's bad. So yeah, just whatever works for you, but I do both. I definitely do both. Because I'm also the kind of person that, if I don't have some kind of routine and consistency and schedule, I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna forget about it, or I'm not gonna prioritize it, or time will pass and I'll be like, oh my god, the dark moon was 3 days ago? Shit. But instead I have the routine and the schedule of it's in my calendar, I do it every month, I know when it is, I'm ready for it. So yeah, but then I'm also spontaneous in certain moments when I feel called to be. I don't know a lot specifically about Athena. Not a deity that I've worked with closely. I do know the basics about her, and I'm sure I'll make a video on my channel about Athena at some point as we go through these deity spotlights. I'm going to be filming another deity spotlight in these next couple days. But yeah, so I don't know a lot specifically about Athena. Yeah, Katie, I have the same kind of vibe with deities. It feels like, you know, as I've worked with deities over the years and collected experiences and knowledge, I just feel like more and more, and this is my personal belief, you know, so I'm not saying it's fact or it's true, it's just my personal experience and belief. And I love to hear others, so feel free to share yours. But I feel like, you know, all these deities, of course, have their own personhood, their own existence, their own identity. But I really do feel that they're all, you know, because we all are connected. All of us as non-physical beings in physical bodies. All of our connected. Every living, breathing thing is connected. We're all one thing. You know, it's like, if you've seen that scientific study that somebody did somewhere, I can't remember. But it was basically like they took two atoms or something. I don't know, science words. They took two, like, very small molecules and they separated them and they did something to this one, and the same thing happened to this one over here, even though they didn't do anything specifically to this one. Like, they basically proved with the experiment that everything is connected. Even if they're not physically connected, they're energetically connected. And as a Reiki master, I really experience that a lot, how everything is connected. You know, I send long distance Reiki to people all the time, and they feel it, they experience it, they receive it. So it's really crazy. But my point in saying that is, you know, we're all connected, and I really strongly feel that every single deity is connected with us and with each other. And I really feel like every single deity from every single pantheon, they're all the same. And again, this is my opinion, my experience, my personal spiritual belief. They're all the same divine source, just coming to us in different ways for our greatest and highest good. You know, they're coming to us in this form, with this personality and this identity, because that's what we will best receive as earthly beings. So I really do feel like, you know, no matter what pantheon you're talking about, they all know each other. They're all kind of the same thing. They're all really connected. They're all just one big mash of divine source. Okay. So are you saying, when you say you can smell her presence around you, do you mean the presence of your aunt? Yeah, maybe, Sorry, I'm just, receiving some stuff. Yeah, maybe we could know the demon. Okay. Yeah, maybe we could chat one-on-one sometime. Feel free to, message me on Instagram, and we can talk about it, just because it's kind of complex. But yeah, maybe we could chat one-on-one about that. Because there's a lot of details that go into it that I would love to ask you about that I don't know that you would necessarily want to share on a live stream. But yeah, message me on Instagram. We'll work it out. We'll chat about it. Really good questions, guys. Okay, everyone, we're about 45 minutes in. So we'll go to about an hour with open office hours. So for the next about 15 minutes or so, you can feel free to send any questions that you want in the chat. If you have a topic you want me to discuss, or you want to discuss, or you want to share something that happened for you recently, spiritually, in your practice, anything at all, we're here. We're here for you. How did my ecstatic dance event go? Yeah, I talked a little bit about it at the very beginning, but it was good. It was good. It was a humble beginning, a small group, but a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And I'm really excited for the next one. But yeah, it was really fun. I posted some videos and photos and things on the Dandelion Spiritual Academy Instagram. So follow that on Instagram. And I'll be posting more videos and things of the event. But it was really good. It was a lot of fun. I led everyone through a visualization at the beginning of basically just recognizing where we've been and all we've been through and all we've overcome, and setting the intention for where we want to be in the future, and casting that intention out into the world. So we went through a little visualization doing that with a metaphorical dandelion, making that wish and sending that intention into the world. But yeah, it was really good. It was fun. Yeah, okay, I'll keep an eye out for that message from you about your experience, and we'll chat about it. Oh my gosh, Leah! Tomorrow it'll be 2 years since you began your spiritual path. Snaps for Leah. Congratulations, that's so exciting. Ooh, this song's bumping too. Can you tell she teaches ecstatic dance? She keeps pausing everything to dance to the lo-fi. Yes, we're happy for you, Leah. We're very happy for you. It's very exciting. I love hitting milestones like that. That's really fun. Yeah, I'm almost gonna be, it'll be 10 years for me in the fall. Yeah, I think in the fall. Just about 10 years. That's cool, double digits. Double digits. It's just a stream of me dancing to lo-fi. Whoopee! Welcome to my channel. Yeah, 10 years, woo! Yeah, I first came to my spiritual practice when I was about 16. Yes, yes. So about 12 more minutes of office hours, guys. So if anybody wants to chat about anything or send any more questions, now's the time. And reminder again for anybody who just popped in, next Tuesday, we're going to be having our first evening stream. So Tuesday evening, Pacific time, we're gonna be playing Hogwarts Legacy here on my channel. So a little bit of witchy gaming, a little bit of magical gaming. It's gonna be fun. Also, if anybody watches The Last of Us, comment that. Put that in the chat. Just watch the season finale. Oh, welcome, Cosmic Lotus. We're happy to have you here. 5 years, yay! Congrats. I'm glad you're enjoying the deity videos, yeah. Yeah, next Tuesday, Hogwarts Legacy. Oh, but I said the thing about The Last of Us because I was like, maybe we could also play The Last of Us again here on YouTube because that show just ended and it was really good. Just saying. Just thinking about different fun games we could play. Wish it would be easier to show you guys the view out my window because it's so rainy. It's so rainy. Okay, final 10 minutes for questions and chatting. So pop them in the chat. Now's your chance. Pop them in the chat. Yeah, I'm looking forward to, once we start working here for on the stream, I'm looking forward to finishing that vlog, because it's been bothering me. Your advice for starting a spiritual YouTube? Yeah, people have asked me this a few times. The first thing I would say is, if you're going into starting a YouTube channel that's spiritually minded, think about why you're doing it, what the purpose of it is, what you most want to achieve or put out into the world with your channel. So, for example, for me, when I first started my channel, the reason I started it is because I had gotten into Wicca through, and I think I've talked about this before on my channel somewhere in some video at some point. But I first got into Wicca through YouTube. I found a woman's channel here on YouTube. Her name on YouTube was Tiptoe Chick. I think all her videos are still up. So that's Tiptoe Chick. It's all one word. No spaces. And she was like a real one. A real one. You know, there are a lot of people on the internet being openly spiritual who are doing it for clout, for image, for attention, for whatever, and it's not pure, true spirituality coming from their heart and their faith and their belief and their actual love of practicing this work. But she was very, very true and just a beautiful soul. And she made a bunch of videos about the basics of Wicca, the basics of witchcraft, and all kinds of things. And she introduced me to Wicca. I was researching it online and her videos popped up. She unfortunately passed away pretty young in a car accident. So her channel, you know, stopped, you know, no more videos, obviously, because she passed away. And it got me thinking, and also, like, you know, people would ask me a lot, and this was before I was openly pagan or spiritual on the internet at all. And people I knew, or people who would meet me, would ask me, like, what is Wicca? What is paganism? And if I want to get started with it, where do I even begin? Like, what do I do? How do I find good, reliable information? And so I was like, you know what? It's kind of bullshit that there isn't anywhere to go to get that information. No easy place, no easy destination where you can be like, okay, this is good, reliable information. It's all just like, you know, you got to root through it and figure it out on your own and kind of struggle. And that's definitely part of a spiritual practice, is kind of, you know, rooting through everything and going through that kind of muddy struggle period of time. But it shouldn't be like you're left in the dark to fumble around. So I started my channel with the intention of, I want people to be able to figure out how to start their practice. I want people to have a source of information that is reliable and morally sound and well-researched and supportive. So that is what my intention with my channel was and continues to be, is to provide information, provide support, and now with these live streams, I'm trying to also provide community. So I'm trying to build our community and build our connection to each other and our connection to our spiritual practices. So especially with, you know, I focus a lot on my channel on deity worship, and that is partially because, like paganism and Wicca and witchcraft, there's not a lot of good information on deity worship that's easy to find. So, and the practical aspect of deity worship, you know, what does that look like day to day? And even on specific deities, a lot of the time it can be hard to find information about a specific deity. So that's why I did the deity spotlights and all these things. So my first biggest piece of advice, if you're wanting to start a spiritual YouTube, is have your intention and your focus and your goal set. Why are you doing this? And figure that out quickly before you even start. And then the other thing I would say is, be ready for it to take a while for you to build up an audience. It's going to take some time. And don't, like, when you go into that, be aware of the fact that there may be people who are going to come on your channel and say rude things or say mean things or tell you what you should be doing or tell you what you're doing wrong. And there will be people who will come on your channel and say really nice things and be really supportive and love what you're doing. Don't let any of it affect you. Because if you let the positive comments affect you, then you let the negative comments affect you, and vice versa. So just be steady in yourself, be strong in your your goal and your focus and your vision for your channel. And always make sure that anything you're putting out on the internet is something that you're proud of. You know, so triple check your resources, triple check your information, and make sure that you're morally doing things that you can stand behind. So those would be my biggest piece of advice for starting a spiritual YouTube. What other games do you play? Oh, I play a lot of games. I play, right now I've been playing a lot of Hogwarts Legacy. Really enjoying that. I've been playing that on my PlayStation. And I just got Hogwarts Legacy on my PC here. So we're going to be starting over when we start playing it next Tuesday. We're going to be starting from scratch. Fresh Hogwarts Legacy game. But yeah, I've been playing a lot of Hogwarts Legacy. I play Animal Crossing. I love like an old school PC game, like an old Nancy Drew. Sims 3. Specifically Sims 3. I don't play Sims 4. Don't talk to me about Sims 4. I don't like it. It bothers me. Dead by Daylight. I love Dead by Daylight. Haven't played that in a while though because I've been so obsessed with Hogwarts Legacy. But I love to play Dead by Daylight. Yeah, I played all the Last of Us games. Did I say Animal Crossing? Yeah, I play Animal Crossing. My island is my life. I'm the dictator of a very good island. Yeah, what else? Yeah, I'm honestly like, oh, my sister and I have been playing Gauntlet. It was originally an old PlayStation game, and they revamped it for the new PlayStation. And so my sister and I have been obsessed with playing Gauntlet. Sims 4 is garbage fire. Yes! Thank you! Sims 4 is garbage fire. Garbage fire. Trash heap. I don't like it. Sims 2 and Sims 3. Yes! I work with 8 deities, and that's a reason why I wanted to start a channel, because like you said, there's not much info. Yeah, I am also a crystal healer practitioner, and I want to help people understand. Yeah! No, that sounds like you have a great grasp on what you want your channel to be and why you're making it. So yeah, go for it. Yeah, and if you start your channel, send it my way, and I'll help support you. I'll hit that subscribe real quick. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think that would be great. Yeah, because like we've talked about on my channel, you know, I love crystals. I love to wear them. I love to use them. I have a lot of them on my altar. But crystals aren't my biggest focus. They're not a big area of study for me. And I'm not, like, I wouldn't say it's my specialty, you know, like other things. I'm very specialized in those topics. But yeah, so that would be great. I personally would love to have a channel that I know of that has a lot of information on crystals and everything and how to work with them and stuff. So yeah, do it. I'll be watching your videos. I will watch them. Okay, everyone, last call for questions and chatting and any kind of chattiness we want to get out of our systems now before we get to work. Last call, almost to an hour. So if you have any questions, pop them in the chat. Yeah, see, we're all really interested in your channel. So we want you to start your channel. Oh yeah, we've all been there. We don't wanna. Don't make us do work. No. Okay, y'all, we hit an hour. Oh, we're excited for you to get started. Yeah. Yeah, and if you ever need any like more technical type support, you know, like in terms of like what you should film or how you should film or what you should use to film or tools or anything for YouTube, message me and I'll send you what I use. Yeah, these live streams are weekly, every single Wednesday. Every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific. We do these live streams. It's a newer thing here on my channel. This is our third or fourth? Our fourth? Yeah, this is our fourth one. Every Wednesday. Okay, seedlings. I think we'll transition into work mode. I'm gonna take a quick BRB, make some tea, stretch my legs, maybe go to the bathroom, and then I will be back. And we will fortify, and we will work, and we will be productive, and things will get done, and we will be proud of ourselves. Oh my god, Katie, I relate to your message. I relate to your message. Oh my god, the struggle of being a creator. It's not, like, people don't even know how hard it is. People are like, oh, you're just in your house making videos? No, it sounds easy. That's not a real job. It's hard. It's hard. You have to be able to do all the jobs. You have to be able to work the equipment and be in front of the camera and edit it after and post it and promo it and, like, oh my god. And then, like, the marketing and the branding of your channel and your Instagram, and it's a lot, but it's fun. We like it. But it's a struggle. Things go wrong. You know, like last week's stream, we got cut out toward the end of it. I had to start a new stream. It made me so mad. But that's just the life of a creator. You know, or like this vlog I'm working on, a bunch of the files were corrupt, and I had to figure out how to fix it. So, you know, it's a struggle, but we do it because we love it. Yeah, it can be a lot for sure. But okay, I'll take my break. I'll be back in 5 minutes. So you guys take your break. Get any materials you need for whatever you're going to be working on. Get some water, get a tea, get a coffee. Stretch your legs, and I'll be back in 5 minutes. Okay, I'm back. How we feeling? We ready? Another small dance break. Procrastination. Okay, so now we're gonna shift into study hall. So I invite you all to work on anything that you've got going on, something you have to get done, or something that's just for fun. Yeah, let's get to work. My dad used to say, like my dad always used to tell me, he used to say, you fooled around long enough. So I'll sometimes say that to myself, be like, I've fooled around long enough. But yeah, we have fooled around long enough, time to get to work. But yeah, anything you want to work on, if you're crafting something, if you're working on something spiritual, if you're doing classwork, schoolwork, you got homework, you work from home in an office kind of way, anything. Okay, great. I'll look at that when we're done with stream. I will look at your message. Don't you worry. I'll get back to you as soon as I can, probably later today after stream ends. And we'll discuss that, we'll discuss all that stuff. But yeah, so everybody, let's work. Feel free to chat amongst yourselves, ask each other questions, or support each other, or share what you're working on, so everybody can see the different kinds of things everybody's working on. And yeah, and you can feel free to mute the stream if you want to play your own music, or you can enjoy the lo-fi, it'll keep playing. And hopefully we won't have any problems like last time where for some reason the stream just freaked out and it crashed. We had to restart. Hopefully we'll be okay. We'll be okay. But yeah, so let's work. We've fooled around long enough. bathroom break for me. So we're gonna BRB for just a minute, and I'll be right back. Keep up the good work. You're killing it.